Anybody have public comments?
Oh, can you please come to the owl?
The way you hear it. Right after, you can have.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
My apologies for missing the meeting in July, but my only public comment is an update from either the sheriff's department or the highway patrol on who controls these diesel trucks that I've been complaining about for the past 5 years.
That's the, certainly the highway patrol.
Okay,
I don't, yeah, I've been meaning to look into the municipal code around that, we haven't had time. Copper theft is our priority right now.
got you. And my only second public comment is thank you. I want to thank the sheriff's department for some of the stuff that you guys have done as far as the street sweeping is concerned. But one other complaint is if anyone rides around out here at like between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning, people don't park their cars where they're supposed to park their cars. I've almost hit a couple of cars coming around the corner because they're parking their cars literally in the bike lane because there's no parks on the street. So that's my only other concern.
Yeah, so that double parking, we have. That we were really just talking about that.
Okay,
Start towing or citing.
okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other public comment on Zoom? Anybody?
Yes, I see, I think Housing Authority.
Okay.
Cynthia.
Okay, I'm unmuted. That's Cynthia with the Housing Authority. Okay, just like to thank everyone for supporting me for the music festival in North Richmond. It gets bigger and greater every year, so thanks a lot. That's it. Did you hear me?
Yes, thank you. I'll go with Asha next.
Hi, everyone. This is Asha Sept. I'm here with the California Department of Toxic Substances Control. And I just wanted to thank everyone for coming to our community meeting for Brookside Drive. I know it's before summer, so that was in May. But I wanted to share what I hope will come as good news. Many of you voiced concerns about the timing for the remediation work. And I just wanted to perhaps the urging of Centerpoint paid off because they let us know just on Friday that they're not going to be starting the cleanup work until after the school year. So it won't be until summer of 2025. So that's quite a bit of a delay. So hopefully that's good news. If you have any questions, please let me know, but we'll try and keep you informed. We'll send out a postcard to the community so everybody's aware of the update to the schedule for that project. And also just briefly, wanted to let you know that we're sending something else out in the mail to you next week. Not only do we oversee cleanups, but we also make sure that hazardous waste facilities are operating safely. And there is one facility called Veolia in Richmond, and I'll put a link in the chat to the location. But we received an application from them to renew their permit. And so they've been operating for some decades, I believe since the 80s, and they're a small facility. And so we're sending out a notice to let you know that they applied for a permit to renew for another 10 years. And so there'll be opportunities for public input and more involvement. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Ryan?
Hello, good morning, MAC members. My name is Ryan Lau, External Affairs Representative at AC Transit. I'm here to remind you about AC Transit's Realign project. As a reminder, Realign is a comprehensive assessment of every bus line in response to the substantial shifts in ridership and commute patterns since the pandemic. So upcoming is the AC Transit Board public comment process for the public hearings, which have been set on September 9th, 10th, and 11th. So that's just next week. And the public comment period ends on September 11th. Visit actransit.org/realign for more information, including the details around time and location for those public hearings. We really encourage you to share that information, and I'll send over some information for Tanya to share with the MAC members if you want to share that out. Any public comment received in writing or at the public hearing will be made part of the public hearing record. Again, the public comment period ends on the 11th of September, and then the AC Transit Board of Directors is expected to make a decision in October later this year. And then we are expecting that we will be implementing that new bus network in March of 2025. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Gonna move back to the top of the agenda. We have a quorum, and I will entertain a motion from the board for approval of the agenda and in the minutes, either together or separately, depending on my vote.
Chair, Gilmore, I would like to make a motion to, start with the agenda, accepting the agenda for, this evening, for September 3rd, 2024, and also, to accept the minutes that was written July the 2nd, 2024.
There's a motion for the approval of the agenda and the minutes. Is there a second?
I second that motion for the agenda and for the minutes.
All in favor, move by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same. Passes. We will move down to the Sheriff Department.
Good evening, Deputy Ernst Kai, Sheriff's Office. As you guys know, I know earlier today they had a press conference, but the copper theft investigation is an ongoing thing, and it's been a problem for a while. There's multiple agencies that are well involved. There's gonna be more enforcement, hopefully more serious enforcement very soon, if we can get a collaboration with all the different agencies, okay? But that's been our primary focus. And then in addition, if you have construction tools, right? And I've taken 2 of these reports so far, especially here for North Richmond. Please secure them in your vehicle, or if you can, pull them out of your vehicle, stick them in your house, because what's happened is there's lately, these are very specific hits on specific vehicles where they're rating the entire, from cordless drills, sawzalls to skill saws and everything, the batteries included. The stuff's being taken, and then usually we have an idea. We have a couple of usual suspects that we believe we know who's doing it. The problem is trying to catch them with the items, and that is going to change. So please lock your vehicles up. If you do have expensive tools inside your vehicles and you don't want to do it, get surveillance. So at least we could start there. That will help us. Okay. Speaking of which, do you want to introduce yourself?
Myself, my name is Devin Rodriguez. I don't know if you guys met David Cruz. I took his spot now, so I'm the newest resident deputy here in North Richmond. Been with the sheriff's office for 7 years. Super excited, love it. I speak Spanish, fluent Spanish, so if you ever see me around, or you want to talk to me, feel free. I'll talk your ear off. I'll be here pretty much Monday to Thursday, same schedule as Sky, just with the afternoon. So I'll try to make it out to the schools and stuff for the drop off or pick up. And then just to kind of touch base on him, trying to inform everyone, educate everyone, right? The biggest prevention from stopping people from stealing tools and things, not even necessarily just tools, but things out of the car, just taking stuff out of the car. It's honestly, it's easy, opportunistic crimes, right? Walking through and they see something of value that can easily be turned into money. they're taking it. It's kind of similar with the copper, right? Right now, it's really hard for us to, patrol the whole West End right now. There's so many copper lines, it's insane, so, yeah, nice to meet you guys. You guys want to talk or anything like that, I'll stick around for a little bit after the meeting, so.
And then. I'm sorry,
Are you finished or?
or you, I don't know if you want the,
Oh, when you get done.
okay, yeah, and then the, monthly report for August, the Autoberg, that was mine, I took that report, there was also one commercial burglary, one residential burglary. Over the last 3 months, we have recovered a total of 11 stolen vehicles out of North Richmond. This obviously continues to be an ongoing issue. We're trying to narrow them down, we're trying to hunt these people down, it's just keeping them in custody too, as well. And then this grand theft, I took that report as well. Again, this is with the tools, the grand theft of a bunch of tools from the truck. And then we had 2 vandalisms. So,
Okay, I have a comment for, Officer Scott and also Kulu. It has been an ongoing problem, at our church with the blockage of a very serious, intersection on Truman and Chesley for the last, I'd say the last 8 or 9 months. And the parishioners are getting very upset at this point. Just today, it was being satisfied with individuals being cited by Officer Kai through the work and the communication with Kalu to have it done. Parishioners are getting very upset. You know, they've been getting, you go to church, they get cursed out, you know, because they can't see with the blocking of the intersection. So with that, I'd like to thank you on the behalf, you know, of Davis Chapel and the community also for doing a fine job and taking care of that.
yeah, we're gonna try to stay on top of that.
Right, and
And I will
if you can still come through, you know, on Sunday, to be appreciated.
Yes, ma'am, I'll communicate this with my weekend team.
Okay, thank you so very much.
I have a short observation, sorry, the community library that's at the corner of Market and, Fred Jackson, there's like a small little box where you can put the books in.
Yes,
There's been twice now that I've seen individuals take a bag out and put it back in, so I don't know if it's also being used for like a drop spot. So just wanted to bring that to
Oh.
your
That's interesting.
when did this happen?
Maybe in the last 2 weeks, it's been 2 times. The first time, I didn't think anything, I have like the suspicion, you know, but I didn't think anything like past that. I just thought, oh, maybe. But, it just happened like 2 days ago where I saw another individual do the same thing behind the books. They moved them, took a little bag out, put it in their pocket and took something else out and put it in there. So I think it's being used as.
Okay,
Oh.
okay, we will keep an eye on that. That is interesting.
Yeah. Little kids books.
Yes. Okay, I will pass the word on.
Any questions?
Oh, I've seen one, Cynthia?
Okay, I know, didn't happen in the county, it happened in the city of Richmond, about the guy that died. He had went down in the, drainage pipe, the, steel copper wire, and he ended up getting stuck and he died in there, I believe. Is the sheriff aware of that?
The city of Richmond on First Street, just a couple weeks ago, he went into the manhole and yeah, city of Richmond.
Yeah, the city of Richmond,
Right.
but it's
And
definitely,
it may be, yeah.
Yeah.
Richmond PD.
I don't see him today.
yeah, obviously,
Okay.
you know, they're aware of it, right? Part of stopping the copper theft from occurring, on top of keeping the infrastructure up and running, preventing people from doing like really unsafe things, cutting any sort of wire down from the telephone pole is extremely inherently dangerous, so, or going into a manhole, and cutting any wire, so, the more that we can prevent that, the better off everyone is, just as a whole, for sure.
All right,
And, okay, And with Cynthia's comment, thank you for bringing that up, Cynthia, that is also happening at our church. Our lamps are being vandalized, the carpet is done and taken out our poles. Matter of fact, last week, they've actually removed 2 of the rod irons.
Oh,
And they were squeezed through, yeah, and go through the parking lot and cut, carpet off. So that's just something else. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's getting hot.
All right, we're going to move to item number 5 and presentation. Irving Till.
I have a little voice like me. And I think it's a couple of seconds.
Going to fan on for a minute.
Yes, yeah.
I know. Fan on for just a
Okay. All right, so my name is Latifah Abdullah. I work at the North Richmond Farm. Urban Tills North Richmond Farm. We're at 323, between 323 Brookside Drive and 411 Brookside Drive. And today I'm going to be talking about, so it's 10 acres between those two, 323 and 411. I'm going to be talking about the 3 acres. But I wanted to tell you all before I started that our youth apprentice. Yes.
For this help.
Maybe so. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, thank you. Our youth apprentice, so we have every year we have the summer youth apprentice program, and they just graduated last month. And we had a new team. They interviewed some of our North Richmond elders, and want to thank Lou and Janine for helping us out in that effort. And Ms. Paulette is also on the community advisory committee, so she advised who we might interview. What we're doing, we're editing that, and we're looking for some of the still photos of the references, some of the references that the elders mentioned. But everyone did a great job. We had several teams that had a full summer with all types of things, including field trips and family trips. They learned a lot. They got paid, so that's always good. I wanted to also let you know that you're welcome to come and volunteer at any time, schedule a tour. Thank you, Kalu, for connecting us with the students and coming and seeing for yourself the tour. So yeah, and then also I can be the community advisory committee. So if you're interested in serving on that, if you're a North Richmond resident, a San Pablo resident, or a Richmond resident, your time is compensated. So right now we're working on the history walk that's going to be on the farm. So they're advising on that, and the subcommittee is advising on what things should be included on the different time periods on the history walk. All right, so today I am going to be talking about the construction. So we have a multi-phase construction project going on, as you know. Can you go to on the next the next slide, we have like 30-second video. It kind of shows you a snapshot of where we started and then the progress. So please, yep. That's how we started. I think that's the sound. So let's just kind of quickly go through the different ones. Then I'll go to these. Can you go back to the yellow jackets on by the curve? So we love for community to be a part. And one of the first things that the community did, they helped put in an orchard. And then the next thing, at the beginning of last year, the community came out to help put in the rain garden. So this was like the pre-project. So here with this, we put in the rain gardens, the community came and helped plant. And then with that project came the sidewalk and the bike lane. So it's really nice, you know, we might take sidewalks for granted, but it's really nice to have a sidewalk, whether you're coming to the farm or just walking in the community. Next slide. All right, so next slide. So after the rain gardens, what we did the underground utilities, and so overall is it's a construction company. It's right around the corner from the farm. So they are the primary contractor. We also had Earthbound Building. They came and helped us with a portion, and then we also had Healthy Home Artisans come and help. So the phase after the rain gardens was the underground utilities and the sewer. And we began the Brookside Drive frontage road, the improvements of Brookside Drive. Next slide. Next. So with all this construction, we wanted to make sure that there wouldn't be a lag in the services that we provide. We have the free farm stands weekly throughout in North Richmond and throughout across Richmond. So we wanted to make sure we can still have the farm stands in our CSA. People either pick up their fresh produce or we deliver to our seniors. Yeah, so we had to move some things to make sure that there wasn't going to be an impact or you know, we didn't want to have to stop what we were doing. So we got that done. Next slide. All right, so in phase 2 is the farm facilities, it's our greenhouse, the nursery, the watershed workshop, the crop row classroom, the orchard classroom, the tool shed, and the compost toilet. These are the farm facilities that are part of phase 2. Next slide. So again, we love for the community to come out and be a part. So here we have the community build days. And so here you see we were doing the straw and clay. So you see the straw going in, mixed with the clay. And then, so that's gonna be the installation for the watershed workshop. And so we had a couple community days where first it was the installation and then the plaster. Yeah, it's just showing you the progress. This is the watershed workshop. Does anyone know what our watershed team does right now? You know, the churches have been so great to us, opening their doors and allowing us to use their facilities while we have things built. But does anyone know what our watershed team does? So what they do is, so we have the creeks, both the local creeks, and then they clean up the local creeks, and then they also work with the park district to clean creeks around the day. So taking out invasive species and planting things that are actually good for the community. So, all right, next slide. Next slide. Okay, so if you've driven by the farm, you actually see some of these things, the greenhouse, the nursery. The extraction room is not we have we have bees and honey on the farm, so that's not there yet, but we have the greenhouse, the nursery, the farm shed and the break room, the watershed workshop, the frame of the compost toilet. You can see where the history walk is gonna be. That's actually gonna be brick. Right now it's gravel. And you'll see, if you see these things coming out of the ground, like these objects coming out of the ground, that's where the outdoor classrooms are gonna be. So there's gonna be one in the orchard and one in the crop rows. We're also gonna have a sidewalk on Brookside. And with that, the curb and cutter, the curb and the gutter, the driveway, and we're also gonna have rain gardens on Brookside. So we're expanding the growing space, and we're also launching the oral history project. So that our young people actually helped us with that, the first cohort. They helped us by interviewing the elders. And yeah, so they're gonna be, the community is gonna decide how they want to show that on the history walk. And we'll probably have different places around Richmond where we can show their work also. And I think that's it. Want to go to the, we'll talk about the, couple more things. All right, so these are things to come. So we need to, our plan is to work with the Ohlone residents to tell us what they want to see in the Ohlone Reflection Garden. And these are things that are still to come, the farm store, the expanded wash and pack. That'll help us to be able to connect with more. Right now, we do business with small farmers. And so this will be able to expand our reach to additional farmers. The community room is going to be a really great space, both for workshops, social events, and it'll be little to no cost for North Richmond residents. The children's garden, and complete with the mud kitchen and everything. And in addition to the community room, that community room is going to serve several purposes. I believe when the construction manager was here, Adela, she mentioned about the dual purpose. So it'll serve as the breathing center. We can go there when there are fires and when we need some relief from the weather. So this is the building that will have the solar and the battery pack backup system, and that one it can go for 3 days without getting electricity from the grid. So anyway, that's and the cafes and later things, but that's what we're doing right now. So thank you. My contact information is on that last slide.
Yes, ma'am. Just from, that was an excellent, presentation, Mr. Keeper. But, looking at the finishing installation and construction, where that is the sweet spot for honey extraction room. So you have honey, you're gonna have honey hives, bee hives actually placed on the farm in order to do the extraction.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we both had bees on the farm, and during construction we've had to move them. But yeah, we usually have like a honeycomb or honey for sale when it's up and running. Yeah.
Okay, that was interesting. I hadn't seen it before, but I see it's in part of an installation.
I don't see any other questions. We're gonna move on to East Bay Mud updates. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ianad Burrell, the Community Affairs Rep for East Bay Mud, and this is my area, Richmond, North Richmond, Hercules, Martinez, Ward 1, under President McIntosh, Lisa McIntosh, who, by the way, is retiring after 25 years of serving at East Bay Mud. So we are super excited for everything she has done, and I know she's gonna leave a great legacy. She already has. So I am here to talk about, well, there it is. In red and big and bold. And so just to preface, East Bay Mud, we are still living through this pandemic, and I'm so grateful for those who are still resilient through it. And we know we have had a lot of challenges throughout it, both families, friends, and a lot of things. One of the things that East Bay Mud, the board of directors did in December of 2020 was to make sure that no one went without water. So no one was cut off if they couldn't pay. It did not matter. And that was in December of 2020. So that was 9 months into the pandemic. We are now required by law, or because services have been rendered, we're required under federal law to now begin to collect. However, we want to make sure that everyone knows about the CAP program. It's super, super important they know about the program. And so this particular slide, when it says, everything you see here is a mailing that's going out. And as a community affairs rep, we want to get ahead of it to let folks know. So when they receive it in the mail, they're not like, oh my God, what is this? So for those, when it says lien being placed, those are for homeowners. And it could be alarming. It's like this bill, it's in red, but there are resources for making arrangements, for getting on a payment plan. This is not something that's being done aggressively. So for liens, we're saying, yes, liens will be placed on the property, but there are extension plans. There's customer assistance program. And yes, there are income levels that are required to qualify, but we have to go in and look at it. We have to go in and look at the program. We have to engage. We have to begin the conversation. If you go to the next slide, it looks very similar and it just doesn't say liens. And these are for renters. Same information. Please give us a call. That's an 800 number. But this is not new, just so we know. CAP has been in existence over 20 plus years. It's a matter of making sure those that need it know about it. Call us, get on a payment plan. Let us know what you can afford. How can we work it out? Without any engagement, without contacting us, responding to the notices, that's when some of the escalation of collection, sound like a collection agency, but collection of bills will start to happen. And to give a little context, since the pandemic, East Bay Mud right now is in arrears of over 20 million in bills that have not been collected or paid. That's throughout the entire service area. So that's 1.4 million customers that we serve. It's across. There's no more here, more there, or otherwise. It's across the whole. And so that is one of the major sources of how East Bay Mud operates. So there's now customer service putting out these notices in advance, trying to get the attention of those who have not responded. Some who have not responded since March 2020. And that can be kind of difficult, but when we do not focus, there's no one concentrated area. Oh, there are a lot of bills here, no, it's across the whole in-service area. And so as community affairs rep, I'm being aggressive about doing as many presentations as I can before these notices go out, and just to really encourage, please, whether you're behind or not, do you know friends, family, neighbors, let folks know. Please contact us for a payment plan, or if you're part of the customer assistance program, there are income level requirements. That is my presentation. Questions? Yeah. Oh, all right. You decide who, you tell me who's.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many questions with the income level if you're a homeowner, then you kind of, your ability to even own a home in the first place, you probably in a higher tax bracket, or maybe you see amount of money. So how does the income level really work? Because if you're able to afford a house, then you don't really follow those areas to get the benefits. So it's, so who does it apply to? It applies to the person that living in the house? Or the owner?
Great question. To answer the first part of your question, there are two programs here. There's an extension plan or customer assistance program. So homeowners would lean towards the payment plan. But to answer your second question, it's the homeowner's responsibility. And so they would probably not, I don't want to say they wouldn't qualify, just say it's the homeowner's responsibility. It's their paperwork. The renter or leasee is not responsible for the homeowner's bill. I know there's a little conundrum, but also please do not, that is something, if you call customer assistance, they can answer as well. So please make sure, yes.
So clarification, if it's a homeowner that is renting the place out to a tenant,
Yes,
and the water bill is passed due, so the homeowner got the rent.
exactly.
But it was in the renter's name, it depends. I'm sorry. Man, earlier in our words.
You're, okay, please.
Okay. My experience. I have, rental property and I have home ownership property. The rental property is in my name because I'm the renter. And I pay, that's me using up all the water. That's my bill. That is not the land, this is not the property owner. It's in my name, my bill. So you look at whoever names the bill is in for the uses of that water, they are responsible.
So actually I hear what you're saying, and what you're saying is theoretically correct. From East Bay Mud's perspective, it is what we call, there's a tag, and that tag says this property is owned, this is the owner, and it goes to the owner. Now, that owner, again, I am not real estate or, because I'm giving the high level,
Okay.
but it's it goes to the property address. It's the address. So if I understand what you're saying, the water bill is in your name, you living at someone's home.
Then I have property that is in my name. But my renters are using it.
You know what, before I dive deeper, and I want to give the right, let me take that back to the team.
Okay.
Because it's a very valid question. To my understanding, we go by the address, period. And that address then, and I see what you're saying, but you're renting or leasing. You're,
Also to, like, notices that there's one
Yeah.
to the owner and then one to the renter.
Yes.
If it was that way, then it'd be a need for the one going to the renter, if it were all on them. We just be one bill going up to them.
but we understand, I hear what you're saying, I understand what Miss Annie is saying as well. You have a number, you have an account number, it's in your name, East Bay Mud, it's a owned house, I understand what you're saying, so let me take that back to the team. That's an excellent question. Now, we don't want to wait for the notice to show up to give the answer. So this is why getting ahead of it is super important, sir.
Are you saying that no matter what, who named the address of the thing, water bill, you guys gonna base it on the property owner versus who named the bill? Because those are two very different things. And one of my tenants, they're supposed to be their own water bill, but the house is in my mom's name.
Great question.
And then two, to my knowledge, was this a program you had to apply for? Because myself and everybody else, I know personally, we still pay our water bills from the thing. So, was this a program that people had to apply for?
No, there was to not have to pay your water bill because you were financially hardship was not something to apply to. No, okay.
Y'all gave it right. There were a number of programs that to assist people who were out of work during the pandemic, and so even like the training. So you wouldn't have applied for it because. You would have to.
You would have to,
You would have to. I think, I didn't know nothing about this free thing, and we still pay the bill, but that's just my question. My main thing is, the question is first, the name on the.
and may I answer
The
that?
name on the water bill is the one that should be defined or whatever. not
Let me-
the property owner.
Let me answer that. It's by the address, period. Which means that address could say that bill that's mailed could say customer 555 da-da-da street 94. It's the address. Yes.
As a homeowner, how do you go about finding out if your residence has tax due?
Call.
So I could get home and call, say that tax due.
Absolutely.
Put myself in debt. Does that make?
No, no, it won't alarm or trigger like, oh, now we found someone, we're gonna go get them. Absolutely not. If nothing else, is letting you know, hey, if you got this, you may not even know about it. So, yes. So if you call just the regular 866 and ask that very question, hold on one moment, sir. Paul, I'm a homeowner. This is my address. I'm concerned if the water bill is overdue or is outstanding, and that doesn't then tag you, oh, we finally found them, no, that's not the point. That's not the point. Yes, and then I'll come back.
My question is, if people are not the, the person on the bill, but they wanna give information, and like, I probably, if I know if somebody's renting it, and that bill is on a good person name, not on mine, are they gonna give information about it?
If you're asking about, wow, is someone giving out unauthorized information about my bill or my property? Is that what you're thinking about? How can someone just call and give an address and find out the status? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, like, because sometimes when people, the customer tells that you should be asked for voice questions, the questions to make sure that it's real. So, how to say, it's not undermining, well, that's all right, that's on the property owner. I just wanna make sure that we can do that. As a property owner, can you request that? As a property owner, can you request if the renter is paying the bill or not?
Your request is the water at my address being paid, period?
So they should give the information, right?
Yes. And they have one, well, let me just pause there. You are the owner? Yeah, there's information that's, and we're not trying to get in a Pandora's box and make everything bad. This is just trying to get ahead. Sir. In arrears.
For how many customers?
The service area is 1.4 customers. Now, let me be very specific. 1.4 million addresses. Customers could be 5 million or 3 million addresses. If you have 5 people living in a house or you have 4 people living in a house, but serving 1.4 million addresses, if you will, accounts, things of that nature.
Let's say like 75% or.
Yeah, and I don't even want to toy with those numbers, but yeah.
No, just get that,
Yeah.
I just want to clarify, no, people's bills haven't been forgiven, right? They've accumulated, and now you're telling them get on a payment plan to pay past due, so it wasn't like a forgiveness kind of.
No, it wasn't a forgiveness, no. Everything is still good.
Yes.
Now, under the CAP program, however, it's reduced for those households that qualify with the income levels. So it's not, I don't, and of course, that's a slide, I do apologize, I don't have in front of me, but I can send it and you can send it out.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yes, it is on our website, but don't look for it, I'll send it.
Yeah, two things. One, to follow what she said, I tried doing it before. They will not give me any.
At East Bay Mud?
And they would, I tried calling before, not in regards to this, but tried calling they one before, and they told me if I don't have an account number, regardless, I'm probably gonna, they're not gonna give me any information. So to follow with what she said, I won't be the first to find out unless my tenant, I hope the tenant wouldn't lie to me, but I can't find anything out. And we say, well, my name is not on there.
I need my notepad note on why I
Okay,
can't open one moment,
okay,
please.
okay, okay.
Yeah, and it's super important, take these questions back to make sure they go inside right out.
Yeah.
And the last question was, has Keith Mud sent out any notices to the property owner? Yes, the line is.
No, it's on its way.
No, so account number, this account number needed to call. Then the other was, you need the cap levels program. And the other was, what happens if the owner does not know? So the three questions I have so far, do you need an account number as a property owner when you call? Two, I need to give you the flyer that shows the income levels in the households, number of households to qualify. And then what happens if the owner doesn't know that the East Bay Mud bill is not being paid? Those three questions.
The first question you might wanna add, does the property owner use the account number when they're calling about their renter or tenant?
Yeah, that was the first question.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
They told me if it's not in my name and I don't have the account number, they can't give me any information.
Okay.
Yeah, which is fine.
Is it in your name?
No.
It's not, oh, okay.
I don't have any information.
No, I'm sorry, is your property in your name?
Yes, the property
Okay.
is in my name.
Okay.
Water bill is not.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Gilmore.
Yes, so, question about the lien.
Mhm.
So you don't know that you're past due, and then do they notify you before they put the lien?
Oh, totally. Oh, nothing happens without multiple notifications. However, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, like, it's the interest add on to the lien.
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah. But to also go back to your first question, you're saying, what was that first question?
About the lien being put on there in this, how you would know.
Oh, yes.
Right?
So if multiple notices are going to your property, to the person that's living in it, and you're never getting that part, I want to follow up on.
So that could. If somebody's paying them.
It's happening.
In their name, even though it's your address, you won't know a lien is on there unless you get notified, because the address is on this, instead of the address on it.
Yes, what happens though, this is not law, but there are times that the owner doesn't even live in the city or the state or anywhere around. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that you will be able to see when you go and pay your property taxes.
Yeah.
But no, but this already, like, 4 years, we in 4 years in the making, she said 2020, this is 2024. But since.
But are they collecting off the property tax?
Oh, no.
No, not at this moment, no. Not doing anything.
No, but in the instance, once they start, you'll be able to see.
No, the lien is on there, she said, and I collecting that. That's what she just said.
So there's no liens on anybody's property at all right now, at all, no one. These notices are going out to continue to say, we need you to pay. After no response, then next steps. But one of the questions is, if these notices are going to the property owner's address and the property owner has no idea, and then all of a sudden on your deed and at the county, you all of a sudden have a lien, what now?
Yeah, something's wrong with that, right?
Yeah. You know, it's not going out yet, so any potential lien is not gonna show on this year's property tax, it'll show on 2025.
Oh, they're not gonna show up on there anyway.
So my concern is, you basically telling me I need to potentially get charged for something that I have no control over.
We are, with this presentation and the fact that as a community affairs rep and getting ahead of it, these questions, because when you're in a silo, we are 2,000 employees strong, but still we're only talking to each other. It's only being here and hearing from residents and community members that I now take this back and say, wait a minute, these are some things we have to consider. And how does it work?
Right.
So with a follow-up presentation as well.
So then that water will never be cut off, right? So how high can they run the bill or it gets cut off or it never gets cut off?
The question about how do they run the bill?
Do they have to cut it because
They
people walk?
pay the bill for like a whole year, and now I owe, so much money. Like at what point, but they can never be cut off after a certain amount of months, if not.
I want to have that conversation, ma'am, because it is nothing that is nowhere in our hemisphere. We don't have any narrative around cutting water off for anybody.
So.
Now, I am here today in 2024 to represent today, okay? Well, look at progression.
Never be aware, you just have to find out.
Being here and you asking these questions at this level, there's something that needs to be fixed. To ensure. But it's your property, right? It's not your property? Okay, all right.
It can be up to 3 years late.
We have accounts that have not been paid since the pandemic. Wait, say that again?
We could be up to 3 years late on the water bill and the owner would have to pay it. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
I'm like, stop.
I have to trust my tenant, not rely on me.
I need to make sure I give you the information on how owners can make sure that they have the information. Yes. Yes.
They're not saying you have to pay it, they said it could be on your property.
In 2020, when there was like this qualification for owners or renters, do they qualify for this non-program? Were they communicated that in or at some point down the line, they were having to do that, because I'm hearing a lot of people like surprised by the information you're sharing, so I wonder how was the communication from the get-go, given to people?
So two things. CAP has been in existence over 20 years, period. Maybe the outreach that we have done needs to be more aggressive to let individuals know there is a CAP program that you can qualify for with these income levels. So that's one. Two, when the board of directors in December of 2020 said, we see things are very difficult, no one will get shut off. So in December of 2024, the board of directors said, no one. Now we're 4 years ahead. Now we need to be aggressive.
So when the board of directors said no one, what was that communication like to the client? like, hey, the board of directors decided that no one's gonna get shut off, but just FYI, 4 years from now, there might be a lien on your property.
This will be this response will be a little dense, but it goes back to being online at a board meeting and hearing on,
You mean like 60 letters?
which is why I'm here, to dissect some of that information, okay? There is a policy that was put in place in December 2020. It's a full policy. Why don't I provide that? Because you will have to read it to understand a lot and answer a lot of the questions that you are asking. I'll just there. And this is not hiding behind and running away from anything. This is in making sure that I'm delivering accurate information that's gonna be beneficial ahead of this all coming
So
out.
let me first say this, don't let my frustration, I don't want you to take personally my frustration.
No.
My thing is, when the board decided in 2020, and the mail started going back out, why? Cause to this day, like I said, this is my first time hearing of it. I didn't even know it was a bill or anything for not being able to pay your water bill, because before the pandemic, I know after 3 water bill cycles that you wasn't paid, you guys came out and cut it off. So this is something new that you guys are doing, not cutting the water bill off at all. And my concern is, not saying that my tenant is gonna move out. My concern is, if he has not been paying his water bill for the past going on 4 years and decides to move, me as a property owner, I'm the one stuck with that bill, and that's not fair to me as a property owner.
Then we have to make.
Drop the ball on it.
Well, let me just say one thing. Now, during the pandemic, we had moratoriums on rentals, right? And basically, a lot of the private owners that just rented out their, whatever, still had to pay their mortgage. Stuff was bad, it happened the same type of way, but that was what was done. And, that's the way it is.
But actually, every depending on who your mortgage is with, because Chase and everybody else suspended mortgage payments, because my sister-in-law, she applied for it.
The majority of folks did not get anything suspended. I'm just saying, because the arrears, like she talked about, a lot of the corporations had arrears and rental payments the same way.
I don't understand that, but what I'm saying is, they should have let the community know before 4 years later, that's my only gripe. Why was the notice sent out?
I thought this was the end.
Well, there's been like,
People ain't been paying their bills.
and they have been reading information. It's just like, if I may,
Yes.
okay, it's that, like you say, if you don't get the water bill, if you do get the water bill, there's always a sliver of something about 6 by 8 that shows that tells us the news coming up, such and such and such and such, and what's going on, look forward to. And one of the things that it may have been mentioned, the circumstances of, that it was just something that's in line that you can qualify for, and it's for you to go ahead and, check it out and see if you qualify for it. But usually when they have different things that they offer, it's usually,
I read that, I read it every time I get it.
Right, okay.
I haven't heard anything about this free water stuff since 2020. And my only thing is, why did the board?
No, let me clarify. There was no press release or community forum or conversation saying free water.
Right.
No, the bills continue to go out every month. And there was one cycle where the entire back of the envelope said CAP program, apply if you need. It was right. No. Okay.
Well, my thing is, I'm just speaking me as a
Property owner.
It did not say in the leaflet, in the flyer, the CAP program, it didn't say on the envelope, me as a landlord, if this water bill is not paid certain amount of time, I as a landlord will potentially have a lien on my property because the water bill is not in my name. One thing I'm saying, he's been able to drop the ball. They should have sent out something or put a leaflet in the mail, leaflet inside the water bill and said, some, it's like.
I'm gonna have to move it on, but she's gonna take that back.
Yeah.
So let me try to get anybody that's on the Zoom if they have.
so we can took
Anybody else? Okay.
None.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh.
Oh, wait, no.
Okay, I was only kidding.
When are you coming back? 'Cause you gonna-
When would you like me back? I'll come back next month.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have answers to these questions. Bring it on. Have the fan ready. I'm gonna have an extra battery for this one because the battery went out, by the way. Please put me down. Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, we're gonna move to the agency reports, City of Richmond Service Department.
Hi, everybody. I don't have any information about bills or payment plans. But I'm Jessica. Many of you already know me. I'm with the North Richmond Mobile Tool Library. And I'm gonna make this brief. My manager, Stephanie and I are kind of trying to brainstorm on how we can increase membership. We're trying to sign up 10 to 12 new members in the next 60 days. And so I'm just putting it out there at the MAC meeting that if any of you live in North Richmond and would like to sign up, I have my contact information here. Additionally, we also sign up nonprofit organizations that do work within North Richmond. So we've got CDHC, we've got the Watershed Project, we've got the Shields Reed Community Center signed up, we've got Richmond Land, but we are able and would like to sign up, other nonprofits. So if you guys have any ideas about how to drum up membership, I'd love to hear them. Again, if you want to sign up, I've got my contact information here. So I just printed out a couple of these things that are basically the questions I just asked. And I thought I might give one to each of you MAC members, if you don't mind. It just says, do you have any ideas for increasing membership for the North Richmond Mobile Tool Library? And then it's got my information and it's got my manager, Stephanie Nye's information. So, North Richmond is pretty small, so we're not looking to sign up 60 people. We're just looking to kind of continue to grow our membership. So, yeah, if you have any ideas, no idea is too silly or stupid, and feel free to contact me. If on a cooler day, you're inspired. So thanks. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, what is membership? Membership, what is?
Oh, well, okay, so in order to check out our tools, which is free, you sign up and become a member. And basically, it's a really easy process. Like, I meet with you, I have a laptop, you show me a government issued photo ID, and then something that has your North Richmond address, like a bill or just something like that. And then I add you as a member to the library. You sign a waiver form that says, City of Richmond isn't responsible if when you're using the tool, something bad happens, and you're a member. So was that your question? Like,
Yeah.
What is membership? Yeah, that's the sign up process. It's really simple. Yeah.
Does people have to check out on tools like once a month, twice a month, or can they just stay there as members and it's can check them out as needed.
Oh, it's totally as needed. We're not gonna like force a sander on you, you know, you.
I mean, like, you like to be active, you know, that's what I mean.
Yeah, no, you can sign up and then maybe like you sign up and you don't have any tool needs, but then in 3 months you want a chainsaw and something to trim your tree branches. Yeah, so no, you don't have to be like an active, yeah, to sign up, yeah.
Is there like a limit, I guess, I'm assuming that there's like a limit of how long you can have a tool for, or, you know, like, does it length out for a certain amount of time? Like-
Yeah, so I'm down, on the first and the third Saturday of every month, I'm down across the street from the North Richmond Missionary Baptist Church on Fred Jackson Way and Gertrude. And so if you come and you check out tools, you've got them for 2 weeks. And then if it turns out you want them for longer, you can extend it. Yeah, so you can have the tools for a pretty good amount of time, you know, long enough to kind of get a project done, or, yeah. Yeah.
So what type of collateral, that holds, you know, that you hold it on for the return of the tool? I thought it was right.
No, we don't, you know, there's really a lot of, it's an honesty based, yeah, I mean, so we, you know, I do like get your information from your driver's license or whatever. I do have your address. We do have fines if you end up never returning a tool, but you know, if someone runs away with a tool, they're probably not gonna pay a $5 fine. I mean, they're just gone, right, with the tool. So, but we don't hold any money. We don't hold any of your IDs. No.
Are your tools insured?
You know, that would be a question for Stephanie. I don't know how the city of Richmond might, I'm thinking no, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
I just have a suggestion, maybe if you attend, you know, the flea market on the weekend and just bring that information to people,
Mhm.
maybe they will learn from it, and maybe they will get to learn from it.
The weekend flea market?
On the weekend, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great suggestion. I've gone to a lot of different community events and yeah, so it's just.
You just give some information out about it and people start to learn about it.
Yeah.
You can bring your tools, like, show the tools that they might be able to like.
Check out.
And that could increase your membership, you know?
Yeah, no, good ideas.
Yeah, visual,
Well, we've got one power, you know, powerful rototiller, but it isn't, we don't have commercial gas powered, really industrial strength tools. It's more tools for the homeowner. Yeah. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Myself,
Okay.
because I am one of the members, just to, thank everyone for, the National Night Out. It was a combination of Iron Triangle, North Richmond, and Park Chester. So, it was a very, well, attended, National Night Out. The final party was at, Park Chester. And they had, cotton candy, you know, they had the cotton candy, had the music, they had the whole gamut. It was just really, really nice. Plenty of food, too much food, a lot of food left over, you know, but it was wonderful, well attended. So on behalf of our participation with the Shield Read, we'd like to thank everyone that came out. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do it again. We have served with Rochester and Iron Triangle for many years before the pandemic, so we're back at it again. So I just like to make the report and thank you.
Housing Authority.
Good evening, everyone. Tony Yusufari, Deputy Executive Director with the Housing Authority. Just wanted to give you a little update on what's happening. Not too much has happened since our last MAC meeting, but we are very close to finalizing the purchase and sale agreements for the below market sales of the scattered sites to our 4 nonprofit developers. Just a few revisions to the documents, and then we should be ready to go. And those should be finalized and actually executed by the next MAC meeting, so fingers crossed there. We continue to work with our development partners to find solutions for the folks who will want to buy the market rate units, or also the below market units once they've been rehabbed and brought to market. So some of these are not going to be conventional type of funding structures. So we're really kind of reaching out there, trying to find as many unique opportunities as possible, and give folks an actual realistic chance to buy these units once they're up and rehab. The main campus we are just about ready to wrap up the request for proposal on that. Few more revisions that we're working on, laying out the schedule. It will be roughly a 4 to 6 month process. But we are just about ready to show that to a couple of our partners, make sure that we haven't left anything out, and then it's going to be released to developers to submit a proposal and apply to become the developer for that site. A lot of factors have gone into the RFP, including many of the things that we had talked about in the quality of life plan process. There's a number of different documents we're referring to through as part of that release, and hopefully the proposals we get will be able to at least address some of the needs that were identified in the plans that have been drafted up. It's going to be really hard for a developer to actually, address all the wants or all the wish list, but there should be some of those items that will be addressed as part of this process. And once the RFP process gets released, there's going to be a selection panel that'll include some of the people that were involved in the quality of life plan as well, and some county people, someone from Supervisor Joy's office, and people that understand the development process to scale the size of this project, which will likely be between $200 and $250 million to really develop the entire 11.4 acres that's there. So very excited to get that rolling and seeing what is proposed for that site in the future. Lastly, since our last meeting, we actually did finally execute the new North Richmond MOU with our community partners, and it lays out a plan for the future of North Richmond in terms of development work, things that we need to do to improve the infrastructure, streets, lighting, safety, traffic, all of those things. And so we're looking forward to working with our partners to be part of that effort. If there's any questions, I'll take them now. Okay, thank you.
Oh, we have one. We have two.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, it would help if you come to the microphone. It's hard to hear.
I didn't hear what you said about the second, about the market rate properties. What's the status on it?
So the market rate units are in the, we're trying to get all of the below market units closed so that we can get the nonprofit developers working to start construction on those units. And while that's happening, we will start marketing the the market rate units. They will be done through a regular real estate process, through multiple listing services. When someone's interested in a property, they'll reach out to a realtor. make an offer. The property has to appraise for all the sales price, I should say, will be whatever the appraisal shows. So while you might make an offer, hey, I want to offer you $10 for that property. If we go out and do an appraisal and it comes back, the appraisal is $430,000 for this property in the current condition that it is. That's the sales price. So we would come back with a counter offer to say, hey, this is, the appraisal supports this. We're required to sell it at fair market value. And then you get to decide whether you want to continue in the process or not.
I have one more question. So do the North Richmond residents get a first look before it goes to the MLS?
Yeah, so with all of the, it's not that they'll get a first look, it's that they'll have priority over anyone else. So, if there's a property that they're interested in, they would, approach us and say that they're interested in buying, whichever property is listed on there. And, because they can document for us that they're either a resident of North Richmond or a former resident of Los Deltas, those are the top two priorities there, with the former resident of Los Deltas being first and residents of North Richmond being second. Assuming they are able to make the deal work for whatever purchase price they want, they'll be the people that we would sell it to, more so than somebody who's not from the area that could afford to buy it as well.
If we have back here.
Just one question, in regards to the main property site off of First Street.
Yep.
Has it been decided, is there gonna be a combination of apartment buildings, single family housing, or what?
So it'll depend on what the proposals we receive are going to look like. My guess, without seeing anything yet, is going to be that you're going to probably see a mixture of apartment housing, maybe some senior designated housing, some single family homes, or possible duplexes or fourplexes, that kind of thing. But it's going to be, my guess, a mix of different types of housing types. And, depending on what it is, the pricing will be accordingly. So, if there's rental property, like say, for example, somebody builds a senior property out there as part of their development plan, those are probably going to be rental, and there'll be some price associated with that. Whether there's subsidies attached to that or not is to be determined. And then there might also be single family homes that, the developer may choose to rent out, or they may just want to build them and sell them at whatever market price, is able to carry for that. I think for the most part, there's going to be, depending on what happens with the land, if the developer buys the land at market value, then there won't be a 20-year restriction on the land, which means that the developer won't be beholden to buying or selling or renting to families at 80% of area median income or below. But if there's a scenario where the land is transferred below market, where we end up in some sort of a land lease agreement with the developer, then there will be a long-term restriction on the property. The housing authority's preference is to sell the lands because we would like to have the revenue to then go and develop some of our other public housing properties and continue the process of converting everything to Section 8 type subsidy. But we understand that, sometimes you don't have that extra money to make that kind of a large purchase. So, we're willing to look at both scenarios and see what works best.
Yeah, I just have a question, but I think Latifa asked about it. It is that if you're gonna give priority to, Richmond residents, past Richmond residents, because if you're gonna sell those with a realtor, usually they go by offers, and usually we might have the problem that a developer or somebody else is gonna come with a higher offer than the money that, you know, our people might be able to pay. So I just wanna make
Yep.
sure that, you're gonna have like, they're gonna have priority over offers higher than the one that the value
Right.
is.
So again, there's a kind of underlying priority already built into this process for former residents of Los Deltas and the residents of North Richmond. Again, the deciding factor on a sale is going to be whether you make an offer that's at market value or not. So if you come in and say, well, I can't afford market value, I can afford less than that, that's going to be a problem because HUD won't authorize the sale. So the market rate ones have to be at market value. They will be adjusted down in the pricing because they need so much work. But overall, when it's done, there's a market value for that duplex, for example, that is going to be consistent with what the market says a duplex should cost in that area. Okay. So even if a developer comes in and wants to buy it for even more money or offer me, $1 million a door, as much as I would love that, the fact is this whole opportunity is to create a home ownership opportunity for the residents of North Richmond. And we would give priority to someone that lives in North Richmond to purchase that site. Now, if nobody wants to buy that site and somebody comes in from out of the area that wants to buy it, then we'll sell it to them. But yes, if 3 of us want to buy the same unit and you're the person that lives in North Richmond or used to live at Los Deltas, you're going to get that site.
Any other questions? No? Thank you, Tony.
Just real quick, there's a question in the chat. Will the development take parking into consideration? For instance, with the houses, apartments, duplexes, and multiplexes, will there be agreements that they must include adequate off-street parking? It's not that there'll be agreements. There are zoning requirements in that area that require you to meet certain standards or have an alternative plan for that. So those will continue to apply. For us who are trying to essentially sell the property, I don't come with a restriction on parking. It's more what happens with the county and the zoning ordinances that are in place. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tony. And now Tanya.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. So I'll do 3 quick announcements. The first one is that we did have a copper press conference in North Richmond. We had it at 200 Par at Over the building, and we had a really good turnout. There was a lot of different news stations, so you'll probably see North Richmond in the news tonight. We had a couple DA offices come, chief of police come, the supervisor was there, the vice president of AT&T was there, and it was all about the copper theft that's happening. Apparently Stockton and Contra Costa have the highest numbers of theft going on. And so I know that the DA from San Joaquin County, and he said that they were dealing with it like at a rampant, it was just rampant, it was happening all the time. And he said that they did a program that really made an impact and made a difference. And he was even saying, I don't know how true it is, right? But he was saying that he thinks that the program was so successful that maybe that's why we're seeing high numbers in Contra Costa, that maybe they came over here and stuff like that. So, the good news is that we're doing a similar program, and that was one of the announcements, is that we are offering $5,000 reward for information or any leads on copper theft. So the best thing to do is just call the sheriff or the police, depending on the jurisdiction that you're dealing with. They did say that if you see someone actively trying to cut it, that it is a 911 call, because the death that happened recently. Also, like, some people who are maybe amateurs or don't know what they're doing, if they cut the wrong cord, right, it's like they may electrocute themselves, and that might lead to serious injuries. So, they were just saying definitely, the impacts have been devastating. Like, there's been loss of communication for hospitals in some cases. We are in fire season, right? We want to make sure communication is streamlined and that is always active. So that was a really, it was a great turnout, and I think it's going to lead to more collaboration regionally, is what we're hoping. And then also AT&T said that they filed a lawsuit today against a metal recycling kind of company, because they're saying like, oh, well, I don't know what happened, but they were saying that because they're like, these companies are accepting the copyright, so they're like creating a market, they're allowing the market to continue. So that's one of the focuses that they're looking at. So that was another announcement that they made today as well. Another two announcements that this month is coastal cleanup. So we'll have one coastal cleanup here in Wildcat Creek. That's gonna be led by the Watershed Project, and Urban Tilth is involved in it as well. And that's September 14th in front of Verde Elementary School. It usually starts around 9 or 10. When I get a flyer, I'll share it with everyone. So that's one on the 14th. And then on September 21st, Supervisor Joya hosts his own coastal cleanup at Shimada Park. And that's along the Richmond Marina, and we'll have coffee and breakfast snacks, and then we have lunch. So we offer lunch at the end of it, and that's kind of like a bigger kind of like event, where we celebrate. He's been doing it for 34 years. Yeah. Huh?
Is it the 14th? And when's coastal cleanup?
There's 2 dates.
Coastal is the 21st.
Yeah, coastal cleanup as a statewide event is the 21st, and this year's its 40th anniversary. And the Watershed Project and Urban Tilth are doing one on the 14th at Wildcat Creek. And then on the 21st, we're doing one at Shimada Park along the Richmond shoreline.
They me a figure in a while.
Yeah.
I thought we just had it.
And then the last thing I'll announce is that I know we haven't heard about this initiative in a long time, but remember at one point we did the North Richmond Light Up North Richmond initiative with the street lights and everything. Okay, so the county's finally gonna come and follow up next month on it. So if you have any, it's never closed, right? Like, you can always send me reports about streetlights and all of that. But if you have anything, it would be great if you could send it to me, because then they could continue to follow up on it next month, right? Anything that you want to address, any questions that you have, I have like a whole list of things that they're working on, that they're gonna have responses for, that were kind of brought the first time around. But if you have any other that are coming up, definitely let me know, and I'll send it to them, and they can prepare to answer those questions in the October meeting. Yeah. Anyone have questions?
I just have one comment. This is not about the light, but it's about the road.
The road?
And we talked about like before, the right in front of Pick and Pool, there is a big hole for moss.
A hole?
That's a big, like a, pothole, yeah. A pothole, and
Yeah.
it's been there like
Forever.
For many months. And
I think I did
they
check.
have not been taken care of. So,
I believe I did check with the county. They're like, that's not in our jurisdiction. So I think it may be some Pablo. Yeah.
I don't know if you let them know, but I mean, they
Yeah.
haven't done anything.
Okay.
It's been there for months, and we have to go around it,
Okay.
A big one.
I'll follow up on that.
Yeah.
And if I could suggest.
One,
Okay, and if I can suggest, just unfortunately, they're having the San Pablo City Council happening tonight. I share both, jurisdictions, so, it's open, to go to San Pablo City Council and mention that.
Yeah,
You know?
it always tells me why don't we, the thing is sometimes we go and, I mean, really, things doesn't really happen, you know, like.
No, but they have to know about, this is San Pablo, that's public works, that's San Pablo area, so.
Yeah.
If they don't, if they haven't been told to them, then, you have to let them know,
So you think that it will make, more weight if we go to the council meeting than? If
Well,
we just-
that's their jurisdiction, that's San Pablo, that's not North Richmond, that's San Pablo's jurisdiction.
Yeah, because
But
I think.
I'll follow up with the
consideration,
staff.
that's fair.
I'll follow up with the staff, but I do agree that it's always great for the council to hear about it. Yeah, but I'll follow up with the staff too.
Just as a heads up, 'cause I don't know, like, what kind of turnout we're expecting for the coastal cleanup. But on that same day, it's the Latin American Independence Day parade on the 23rd.
Yeah, I did notice that.
And it's that same month time frame.
Yeah. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Nobody?
Let me check. Oh, I can see it. Idma?
Yes, Tania, thank you. I don't know, I don't have a question. My question for you is if I can share with the attendants, the new project for the climate health promoters. Can you give me 5 minutes for sharing?
You wanna share something? Is it a flyer or is it a presentation?
Yeah, it's only the flyer. I can see, and if you say yes, I can share it right now.
Yeah, you can share a flyer.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I attend this meeting because the next October 12th, I can start this second training for this project in collaboration with the Richmond Rising. It's only, okay, this is the focus area. The requirement for the new peoples is be a Richmond resident in the Coronado, Santa Fe, and Ayr Triangle areas. This is the focus area project, but if you attending for the school or medical or any work, you can qualify for attend this meeting. For this cohort is in Spanish, but the next year in May, I can start another cohort for English speakers. The next is be interested in the climate justice and be willing to participate in 20 hours of in-person or online. The training is on October 12, 2024, and the depending will be available upon completion of the training and service activity before this. And this training is in the collaboration with Richmond Rising, but no partner is Urban Deal 2. This is the information. If you can, I can share it with you, and you can share with the community.
Definitely, you can email it to me and I'll be sure to include it on the next North Richmond MAC newsletter.
Yeah, thank you. I know it's Richmond, not Richmond, but this is the neighborhood. And maybe if you know people, can you use or join this training? For this training is only Spanish speaker, but you can put in the list for the next training on May 2025.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, community health. So community health, we have before you come forward and get over here, but I want to tell you that we still have down payment assistance for first time buyers up to 150,000, depending on how much you qualify for. But those resources are still there. And the next meeting, I'll have an update for the legacy court multifamily development of 43 units. We're getting close to figuring out the gap financing. Hopefully, we could be in construction by the first of the year, but more to come on it. Oh, it's Fred Jackson Way. There's 3 properties that are vacant. It's been vacant a long time. Used to be a store there and market and a liquor store and the other side of Washington Baptist, so there's 3 sites, so that's what's going on.
Alamo Center.
Yeah.
Alamo and Center.
Yeah, and divorce.
And both. Alamo Center and both.
Oh, okay, Tanya is gone, but this is Cynthia. I have a question for Don. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, John, on the news about last month, there's this bill, that's gonna, make funds available for communities without grocery stores. Are you aware of that? Did you pick up on that?
We are been aware of some of them, but I don't know which one you're talking about. And
Yeah, I didn't get the name. I may have written it down in my notes, but I thought you would be excited about that because there was this big old press conference and the presenters, and they're really focusing on communities like North Richmond do not have grocery stores, and they're gonna make funding available.
Or point me where to go just to follow up.
Yes, I'll see if I can check it out a little bit further.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you. I just want to go real quick for the Corrine Sane Senior and Family Community Center. We've been doing a lot of wonderful things here. We had on July 19th, the Sustainable Contra Costa, and it was the Bayrin Cook Smart Pilot Program. And these are portable induction cookware tops. And so out of all of the presentations that they were doing throughout Contra Costa County, Corrine Sane had the largest attendance participants here. We had 43, and it was really great. And we had cooking demonstrations. So we had a real chef here. I mean, it was so, and the people were so excited, and they cooked in different areas. And it was and it's healthy, nutritional food that was actually being prepared. And everyone stated that they really enjoyed it. And so they are now, since there was such a great a turnout, we didn't have all of the cookware available, but we do now have it. Do you want to see it? Okay, oh, great, okay. I can't lift it, but. We do have it. Can you just grab one so we can put it on there? And then also receive pots and pans to go along with the cookware. And so say, for instance, you are finished cooking and it's still plugged in, the fire's there, you put your hand on it, it can't get burned. It turns off. It has to be this particular pot that goes on the cookware. So this is what our community members received after, it's really, it's really nice. And then I just wanted to say we had our American Red Cross Emergency Preparedness presentation. It was very well received. The seniors had a lot of questions regarding what to do in case of an emergency. And then our garden is growing and growing and growing. We have strawberry, green beans, tomatoes, cucumbers, red peppers, jalapeno peppers. And we are also received extra funding to build more planter boxes in there. We have a great support of volunteers. During the summer, we had our Youth Ambassadors Summer Leadership Program, who was here and helped with our food pantry, but also in the garden. We had our workforce development, Contra Costa County Workforce Ambassadors here also. They're here on Tuesdays. And so just, we're doing a lot. Come and visit with us. We have wonderful lunch here every day, daily, from 11:30 to 12:30. Bingo exercise. We have walk with ease exercise. And I'm just gonna go and walk this way. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kalu. I apologize. I'm a little under the weather today. But for the Resource Center continues to have 150 plus visitors a month. So we're very happy about that. And right now, Daryl on the net is currently updating our current Clean Slate program for North Richmond to help out those who need their records sealed. So that's one thing that we're working on. Also last month, we partnered with UC Berkeley and Tomodachi Japan. We did a panel with 12 students from Japan. And the panel was Annie King, Daryl Davis, and myself. We answered a bunch of questions about mitigation, how to get started. Thanks for Annie, because she was a historian for this area. She was able to talk about the things how these programs came about. The kids loved the whole visit in Richmond. We took a walk. We visited the Korean Science Center. We visited the Shields Reed Center, and we also walked Shields Reed Park. After that, we went to Urban Tilt, and I forgot the young lady's name, but she gave a wonderful tour through Urban Tilt, and the kids just loved it. So when the kids went back, they just couldn't stop talking about their visit to North Richmond. They actually visited multiple cities in North Richmond, or not North Richmond, multiple cities in California in this Bay Area. And they all said their best trip was here to North Richmond. The UC Berkeley professors even said that when they came 5 years ago, I guess, I don't know if that was Tanya, they were saying how much cleaner they could see a difference in North Richmond. And that's what we're shooting for as far as mitigation goes. But the kids ranting and raving about North Richmond kind of led to the vice president of SoftBank to wanting to come and visit North Richmond himself. It was the first time that he did that. So we got Shane involved, myself and Daryl, and we had a great walk. I think he just sent Daryl an email. They call him the Microsoft of Japan. So yeah, he's a very important, very important guy. So just trying to build relationships through mitigation, and also he was very interested about CHDC, about programs that we have and things of that nature. So we kind of talked about those things. Took a nice little visit through Richmond, and his partner that was with him, I can't remember his name, but before he left, he said, because they didn't talk English, everybody talked Japanese, so we had to have somebody translate. But he said to me, man, we love the trip through North Richmond. So we're doing something right. We just got to keep at it, keep pounding away. And that's all I got for that. And that's it.
We'll come to the green meeting tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah, I'll be here.
What time is that?
9:30.
I don't see anyone from Operation Richmond, but I do see, Cynthia, your hands up. You're muted.
Okay, let me put my hand down. But I had put the information in the chat about the bill I was talking to Don about the grocery store.
Okay, thank you.
You get that to me? All right, thanks. All right, I think we're done. Thanks, everybody. Oh.
Bye, guys. So I want to tell you guys that if you have an interest in doing a workshop at the farm, yeah, let me know. We're open to, if there's a resident or any of you would like to do a workshop at the farm.
But I can have a question. Yes, and where can I find Kale?
Kale. Oh, my goodness.
One of the things that you all offered a while back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have some, every week we get to choose what we want in our CSA bags. And sometimes kale and collard greens and different things that we can choose. But let me get back with you. Let me get back and see if there's any on the farm. Otherwise, because they can harvest some for you and deliver it to you. So I will find out.
It's been 8 years since I come get the kale. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Okay. Very good. Very good meeting.